Welcome into the podcast studio. This is our Todd's Tips video. That's Todd. He's going to give us some tips here shortly. But before he does that, Todd has been in voiceover for almost 14 years now. Your anniversary is coming up. Yeah. Just a little shout out to Todd. He didn't know I was going to do this, but this will be his 8th year making over 6 figures. So congrats to you for doing that.
Thanks for your help in making that happen.
Oh,
seriously.
Totally. Yeah.
Had a lot of help. Lots and lots of help.
So anyway, I guess by doing that, it's not to brag, but it's to put some weight upon his words as he has been helping me build my business. I've already made what I made last year in voiceover. And that's probably fairly normal because I'm growing a new business. So when you don't make a ton of money, you can double that pretty quickly. So hopefully I do that this year and hit my goal of what I wanted. Anyway, let's get into Todd's tips. And Todd, my dad, is going to wax eloquently.
I don't know how many of these we've done, these Todd's tips, and I don't know how many we've done where we've had kind of a sub idea of my do's and don'ts, things that I do and don't do, or things that I do and don't like. But it's part of the Todd's tips. And so we've been taking kind of a break from some of the other things and talking about my do's and don'ts. And it's got to be into the 40s, I would think. So, if you want to look back on this playlist, you can do that.
They might even be in our first podcast episodes because we were trying to fill time with that. And it was more of a kind of a voiceover podcast to start. Yeah. So there might be some stragglers in there. Yeah.
So if you want to check out these do's and don'ts, you can in our YouTube channel and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm talking about.
They're in their own playlists.
Yeah, there you go.
So check out our playlist. You'll see them.
Talk to the expert. But we've also been, every time I do one of these do's and don'ts, we have these caveats that we put on the screen here so that you can see that I'm not telling you that this is how you must run your business, just as I run my business. I think, personally, there's a lot of things that are similar in business, not just even VO business, but just in business in general. A lot of similarities at the foundational level, especially. And so, but I want you to know that there might be some differences. There's differences with you and I. There's 30-some years difference in age. There's 10 years difference in how long we've been doing this. Just all sorts of, those are 2 major ones, but there's some differences that would make you have to slow down and say, how do I apply this? Don't just simply just take it and run with it without stopping and thinking. But on the other hand, don't reject it just because, that doesn't fit me because I'm not whatever one of these caveats. Take some time to think about it. So here is my don't for today. It is this. I don't like the VO establishment elitists. I don't like the VO establishment elitists. Now, this isn't personal. I don't know. I don't think I know any of them personally. So how could it be personal? I don't know why they're doing what they're doing, why they have certain opinions. I'm not judging them. It's just that I don't like what they stand for. I don't like how they...
At least what they're portraying in their videos.
Yeah, and what they're trying to put on us. For those who don't watch these videos, or maybe who do regularly, you probably aren't surprised that I'm talking about these types of things, because I talk quite a bit about coaches and mentors and holding people accountable out there for what they're telling the good folks like yourself. So who are the establishment elitists? Well, I could name names, but I won't. And I don't know all of them, but I know them when I see them or I hear them. The definition that I use for these elitists is pretty simple. Here it is. Anyone in VO, but especially VO coaches, who force you or guilt you into running your VO business a certain way because they think they know better. That last thing is key, because they think they know better. That's how I would describe a VO elitist. They force you or guilt you into doing the things that they think you should do as a business person. Now, just between you and I and the fence post, one characteristic of an elitist is to preserve power and privilege. That's the definition of an elitist. They're holding on to their power and their privilege. They might not even know it. And again, I'm not judging them personally. I don't know any of them personally. There, I said it. I'm cynical. I'm skeptical of most. Here are some practical ways for you to spot some elitists. You have to go to VO conferences to get anywhere in voiceover. If you don't go, then you're missing something. It's just not true. You can go if you want. That's not a problem. Go if you want. If it helps you, if it helps grow your business, if it helps you personally, mentally, whatever, go. But don't have somebody tell you you have to go to a VO conference to make it in this business. You have to have agents to make a decent living in voiceover. That's simply not true. You have to market a certain way. That's usually their way. You have to, you can't be on certain platforms to be a pro. And I've heard people say that. If you're on Fiverr, then you're not a pro. You're just making hamburger money or coffee money. You have to have a certain kind of or amount of training before you can start offering your services as a voiceover talent. You have to have this kind of training, or you have to have a certain length of training or amount of training before you can do it. Otherwise, you're not doing what's right. You have to have this kind of demo, whatever they say, before you can make money. And the granddaddy of them all, you have to charge a certain amount for your VO jobs. Otherwise, you're not doing what's fair, you're selfish, you're killing the VO industry. Then they have the audacity to cry foul when somebody calls them gatekeepers, the new gatekeepers. They'd say, no, we're not gatekeepers. The old gatekeepers were this. Well, they are a type of gatekeeper because they're saying unless you do things our way, unless you come through our gate, you can't enter the promised land of VO.
And good luck getting through that gate.
Yeah. They demand all of these things under the guise of trust us. Trust us. We're the experts. Trust us. We have your best interest in mind. Trust us. We aren't in this for your money. We just want to sacrificially help you and your VO career. Trust us. And here's what I say sometimes. This is what I say. Trust us. All the while they're, trust us, with their hand out. Trust us, give me your money. Trust us, give me your money. But don't cross them and don't do your VO business some other way than their way, or they'll call you out, they'll blackball you, and make an example of you. So, just a few more tidbits here to get myself further in trouble. Some of you might be wondering why it seems like I'm always picking on VO coaches in these videos. Well, I'm not picking on them. I'm not. I'm really not trying to pick on them. I'm just doing my small part, I feel. And it is a small part if you look at how many people watch these. It's my small part in just holding them accountable. There are so many VO coaches hanging their shingle out with no real proof of their qualification to take your time, your career path, or your hard-earned money. There's so many of these VO coaches that are elitists, moralizing their opinions, patronizing people who dare to do something differently. So many of these elitists scold the rest of us regarding how we're selfish and hurting the industry, especially when it comes to rates. 2 minutes later, they lay their palms flat out and ask you to trust them with your time, career, and money. So I just watch. Nothing wrong with getting coaching. Lots of people do it. Lots of people have benefited from it. I just be careful.
You should have some filter to look through.
You should have some filter. You should have some vetting service, some vetting process, and just be careful. If you're a newbie, just be careful who you listen to. That might be the first obedience. That might be the first practical business thing that you need before you learn your craft, before you get your demos, before you learn to market, before you get your gear. You better find out, who am I going to listen to? Because that's going to take you down a path that's going to cost you a lot of energy, time, and money.
And I think it would probably be fair to say to them that we want you to do that with us, with Dad's stuff. Look at what he's done. Look at his whatever resume of work. Don't just blindly follow us. That's what I would say too. Do your research on us, especially Dad, because I'm not really technically coaching at all. You're not coaching either, but you're sitting back and you've been in the industry for almost 14 years now. I'm on my third year, but do your due diligence with not only us, but obviously your coaches who you're paying.
I hear a lot of people who, and I believe them, they make a lot of money with agents. I hear a lot of people make money on Voice123Voice.com, other platforms. I hear a lot of people make big money on Fiverr and Upwork. I hear a lot of people make money on direct email marketing. There's more than one way to skin a cat in business. My point is I don't have the corner on telling you how you have to run your business. All I'm saying in these is just be careful when you hear somebody saying this is how you have to run your business. That's my point, is when they start to say this is how you have to do it. And if you don't do it this way, you're this and you're that and you're not fair and you're bad and you're not a pro. And I'm just saying that's simply not true, because almost everything, and you can look at another video, that I don't follow industry standards. There's just so many things that I don't do that everybody says you have to do, and I'm still able to make a good living.
Well, we were talking about today, I mean, we can talk about it later, but 7 years of $200,000 or more. That seems fair. Anyway, thanks for watching our Todd's Tip video. If you'd like to see more like this, check them out in our playlist named Todd's Tips. If you're interested in more VO-related videos, we got Todd's Tips. We just answered a gentleman's question.
That's right.
We do VO listener questions. If you have a question, feel free to put them in the comments or contact me, hudsonbarsness@yahoo.com. That'll be right here. And then we've also got our numbers so that you can see how we did during our weeks in voiceover. My week, Dad's week as voiceover artists, and then John will be on the couch talking about the direct email marketing business that they run for voiceover talents like us, so you can see that we are being transparent. So anyway, check out that video. Numbers should be next. So we'll see you then. Are you dying to see more content like that? Check out the video over here or subscribe over here. Thanks.